And what I want to talk about a little bit is some recent information that has come to light and been kind of disseminated on some peer-reviewed literature journal articles on keto. Keto has recently been named as the lowest ranked diet by U.S. News and World Report. Now, this is the same news organization that ranks colleges, and colleges take that rank very seriously, as you no doubt are aware. And there are a number of different reasons why the U.S. News and World Report ranked keto at the bottom of all available popular diets. One of the things they particularly discuss in the article is a widely acknowledged negative reaction that so many people have. They call it the keto flu. And it includes nausea, vomiting, headache, fatigue, dizziness, insomnia, decreased exercise tolerance, and constipation. Now, the constipation is a given. You know, these guys are talking about how kale is some kind of horrible thing that's going to cause you damage because it creates defensive chemicals. Come on, man. You know, I'm willing to bet that none of those carnivores ever tried to kill a boar with a spear. They can find out about some defense. And a number of studies have identified some other negative metabolic effects involving vitamin and mineral deficiencies, which can be expected because there are vitamins that come from plant sources, kidney stones, fatty liver disease, hypoproteinemia. So we talked about the decreased exercise tolerance. It can also decrease the protein levels in your blood, that very building block of the muscles that most of us are trying to develop. And an increased LDL. And if you are one of the few people that's capable of pursuing the keto diet over the long term, that's a big deal because LDL has a direct relationship to cardiovascular fitness and health, and is really one of the main components of the development of atherosclerosis. So the NIH talks about people that simply shouldn't use this diet, people who have had cholecystectomies, and that's a lot of people who've had any period of successful weight loss, because if you use any of a variety of restrictive diets to pursue weight loss, you frequently induce a period of decreased activity in your gallbladder, and this is when you can form sludge and stones and gallbladder dyskinesia. And so they don't recommend that people eat these high-fat diets when they don't have a gallbladder. And people with eating disorders, because it's basically kind of like one, and it's just going to exacerbate that problem. People with thyroid conditions, all of these people are recommended against the keto diet by the National Institute of Health. And I think it's important to recognize that the keto diet was a diet that gained a great deal of attention in the treatment of refractory seizure disorders. And there's still a lot of research going on concerning a variety of different mental degenerative situations that may benefit from keto diets. But for people who are just trying to drop some weight, this is just a dramatic thing to do to yourself. And if you look at a trial in the journal Nutrients in March of 21, that's the one that shows that it increases your LDL, and this is one of the reasons that NIH is not a big fan of this diet approach. And it blunts hypertrophic muscle response in bodybuilders. So people that are trying to build muscle, they're eating all this protein with their fat, but research in the journal Nutrients in January 21 showed a blunted hypertrophic muscular response. They have a harder time building muscle. Well, why would you want to eat something when you're trying to get fit and be lean that's going to interfere with the development of muscle? I would not do that. I don't think none of these things are the reason I don't use the keto diet. None of these. I think they're all great reasons not to. I like pancakes, man, and waffles and biscuits and noodles and rice and pizza. I like all of that stuff. And I think that my body needs a source of carbohydrates so that it doesn't have to undergo constant gluconeogenesis. Your cells run on glucose. That's what they need. And if you don't give them some form of carbohydrate, they're going to make the glucose. And I just don't understand these carnivore people. We've got canines, we can eat meat. We've got molars for eating plants. We're omnivores. That is our developmental, evolutionary adjustment to the environment. We've developed the ability to eat plants and animals and mushrooms, everything in the kingdom, okay? I don't really see a reason to give that up. And certainly I'm not against vegetarianism. There are a number of arguments in favor of it, whether it's animals as sentient beings or brains have gotten smaller. Okay, well, the size of the brain doesn't... Guantanamo, huh? I'm not here to talk about communism. We get some really strange input here for people to join to talk about the keto diet. And so I'm an omnivore. I really like fruits. I really like fruits. And these guys will talk about fruits like they're just going to kill you and you're just going to keel right over. Now, I don't think that you should eat just fructose and sucrose because that's another really weird limitation. But fruits, in addition to having fructose and sucrose and other sugars, they have a lot of nutrients and they have a lot of fiber. Fiber is important to your gut health. It's important to your biome. Your bacteria that live in your colon really depend on that fiber in order to function efficiently and exist. So I'm a big fan of the Get Fit and Be Lean program that I developed in 2021 and started on and have now lost over 50 pounds, more than 20% of my body weight. And the very first principle of the Get Fit and Be Lean program is 2 servings of raw or steamed vegetables at lunch and 2 servings at dinner. Now, what's a vegetable? Well, when I ask my patients that, typically they'll say lettuce, and that's great. Lettuce is a vegetable. And then they'll say tomatoes. A tomato is a berry. It's a reproductive organ of the plant, storage for nutrients for the seeds. And then they'll say carrots, and carrots is a tuber, another storage organ, stores starches for the plant. Leafy green, grow above the ground. Those are the kind of vegetables I'm talking about as a basis for the Get Fit and Be Lean program. And if you can only come up with 1 lettuce, you're going to have a hard time eating 2 in each meal. So I would recommend that you kind of go into the grocery store, over to the greenery section, and get acquainted with spinach and kale and kohlrabi and fennel and chard and all of these different leafy green vegetables, asparagus and broccoli. And you can steam them, you can use them in a recipe. I don't really care how you get your servings. As long as you get a couple at lunch and a couple at dinner, you'll find that the bulk involved in eating that part of the meal will help you decrease your overall caloric density of what you're eating. You don't like those vegetables, any of those vegetables, because I don't have another option for you. Yeah, I've done the seafood diet. Graduation year, let's see, I graduated from Central High School in 1980. All right. So I was hoping to get a really big turnout for this this particular live, which I did do last year, And you can go and see if I lied then and I told something different now, on my YouTube channel. However, I do think that I'm pretty consistent about the keto diet, the carnivore diet. These things are just extreme, and I don't understand why somebody would want to punish themselves. One thing that's the basis of the Get Fit and Be Lean program is I love food. I love all of it. And to take a staple like tortillas for, everybody south of the border, or rice for the entire Eastern Hemisphere, and say, oh, you can't eat that, that's bad for you. That's just crazy, man. I mean, Italian food is based in pasta. I like pasta. So I will continue to eat lots of starches. You'll see them in my meals. And, I start almost every day with a bowl of cereal. I eat plenty of noodles and starch when I eat. And so on the COVID booster, giving people explosive diarrhea. I haven't read that particular complication, and not generally pursuing COVID discussions here on the internet. Oh, you see food and you eat it. That's the seafood diet. Oh, did you come up with that? Did you write that joke? That's funny. Current situation when it comes to time, it's the same as the situation in every other time when it comes to time travel, which there isn't any, because if there was, they'd travel back here and we would know. All right, healthiest fast food place for a quick bite. Boy, that's a really tough topic, and I'm going to talk a little bit about dining out, and I think I may even hold another live on that in the future. So I hope you guys will kind of keep a tab on my account. It's really weird the way TikTok will not show my videos to my own followers. I don't really understand that process. I thought, oh, I got 75,000 followers. It should be no problem to get, 5,000 views. That's not even, 10%. No, they just, they bury a lot of my videos. I'm not really sure if it's because I'm not a teenager shaking my tushy or what the problem is, but Taco Bell, I like Taco Bell. I go to Taco Bell, I get tacos. When it comes to fast food, I really don't eat much fast food. I used to work at McDonald's when I was a very young man, and they would give me 30 minutes for lunch and I would go home. And it's not because I'm some kind of radical anti-foodie. I just don't care for it. I don't find it very flavorful. And I'd rather go to the Indian buffet. Let's see. Welcome, Frogly. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. Looks like we got quite a few. I don't really get a chance to just look and see how many people, but it says we got 33 people. That's like a whole classroom full of people, so that's pretty good. So, yeah, as far as fast food, the thing is that most of the fast food companies are attempting to maintain a healthy portion of their menus, and they do list their calories, and that can be helpful if you're counting calories. It's a lot better than it was 40 years ago. But if I'm going to Burger King, I'm going to get a burger. I'm going to get a bacon cheeseburger and probably fries and probably a chocolate shake, and that's going to be a really big meal with a lot of calories. And the problem is if I put myself in a situation where that's the only option I have for a long period of time, because I do maintain a belief that, all the meat comes in bags, and I don't really care about how they do it. But the Beyond Burger, my daughter likes them. I'm a meat eater, so I'd just rather have a regular burger. Grilled chicken, Chick-fil-A, yes, absolutely. That's going to be a lean option. And, I eat fatty foods, but I try not to make them the staple of my diet. I try not to make them the only thing I eat. The kind of fat that you're going to get from an avocado is different from a health standpoint than the kind of fat you're going to get from deep fried chicken. But man, I love me some deep fried chicken. No, the pink slime is different, and I don't think that you get any of that in Taco Bell. So, a quarter pounder, with cheese, is it a healthy source of nourishment? Well, I don't think you're going to die from eating a quarter pounder every once in a while. And there was that guy who supersized me, did a whole documentary. It did cause his cholesterol to go up and his liver got bigger and he gained weight, because it's not something you want to eat every day. But I'm not hunting for hamburgers here. This is not the negative food. Why do I support keto? So you're not listening to me. You make me sad, Daquan. I'm speaking English. Is that your first language? Because I don't support keto, Daquan. I quoted the U.S. News and World Report that listed it at the bottom of diets from a health standpoint. I went through several journal articles that dispute some of the claims that are made. I talked about all this side effect. Are you listening, Daquan? I'm talking to you. Oh, it's okay. So yeah, that's the topic of the talk is the keto diet and why I don't like it and what I think that people should do instead, which is eat some vegetables, eat some noodles and rice, and then have them eat anything that they eat in the keto diet. I eat, and I like it. I like ribs, man. I like some good drippy ribs. I like bacon. But I don't think that's the only thing that I should eat. I really believe that variety is the spice of life, and a varied diet is the key to sticking with any program that is designed to get you to the point of health you want to be at. Yes, raises your LDL. I talked about it. Keto works. It depends on what you're talking about works. Do you mean that people can lose weight on keto? Sure, but at 2 years, about 80% of people who diet are going to put back all the weight. Okay, it doesn't matter what the diet was, and that's the problem with keto. It's really tough to adhere to from people that I talk to, and then once you go off it, you gain that stuff back even faster and more than you started. And the really funny thing is, a lot of guys who are gym rats and trying to pump iron and build muscle look at keto as like an option to get cut, but studying nutrients from January 21 showed that there was decreased muscular hypertrophy in the control group that took the keto diet. Blunted hypertrophic muscle response is what they said in that article. So yeah, balanced foods, I'm right there with you, and I hope that you guys cite my source. You're not listening. Nutrient is the name of the peer-reviewed journal article. January 21 was the time it was published. Google yourself, man. Go to my website and check out my PubMed bibliography. You can look at my sources. Geez, cite your source. Cite your own damn source. You just got on and that's the first thing you say is cite your source? That's just confrontational. Good Lord. Why are people so confrontational on the internet? 60 pounds and got a more time-consuming job, didn't exercise, it came back. Yes, absolutely does happen. And no, I don't relax when people are like challenging without having a reason. Don't even know what they're challenging. I mean, a guy comes on, his first comment is, why do you support keto? When I've been talking for 30 minutes why I didn't. And then the next person says, cite your source, and I hold isn't accredited. So you're saying the peer-reviewed article Nutrients is not an accredited journal? I just don't think you know what you're talking about. And you're welcome to go up to my profile. I guess it's a right. You can go to my profile. You can look at my PubMed bibliography. That's a lot of syllables, I know, but it lists the peer-reviewed journal articles, many of which are actually prospective, randomized, controlled, blinded studies that support the approach that I recommend, which is not keto. Oh, show your site. And they mean my site. Okay. Yeah, cite means citation when we're talking about journal articles. And I do cite my sources, and I actually have a site on the internet that you can go to and look at my PubMed bibliography. So there we go. Thank you very much, James, for pointing that out. No, I am not your dad. My son's on here, though. Hi, son. And it's nice to, have some folks come by and see me go rant and rave at strangers on the internet. I try not to get sucked into controversy, but it's so hard. All right. Well, I really appreciate that everybody came by today. And I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. I do hope that you'll check out my video from today with my weigh-in and my calisthenics. I hope you'll go to the meals list. Man, I cannot get this site. It's different when you look at the front of the camera. I think it's definitely the right one. I hope you'll go up there to my profile, look at my meals list videos. You can see everything that I eat, see that I'm obviously not a keto advocate. You can look at my exercise videos. You can go back to January 1st, see the very first day I worked out. I could barely do 5 push-ups, maybe 10 sit-ups, a dozen jumping jacks. Now I'm working out for, an hour or more, and I really have changed everything. I dropped my cholesterol by 20 points. I dropped my systolic blood pressure by 20 points. I lost 5 inches off my waist. I lowered my resting heart rate, and I've been out doing things that I haven't been able to do in a long time. So that's why I'm here, and I'm carrying this. It's cereal soup. No, cereal is cereal. If you didn't put milk in it, it would just be grains. Chocolate ice cream, good to eat before bedtime. In general, if you're going to eat something as a late night snack, I recommend a protein like a hard-boiled egg or maybe a cheese stick, something like that, because it limits your glucose spikes and subsequent insulin fluctuations while you're sleeping. So people are messing with me, man. I don't know why that is. I guess they just want to see me rant and rave. I'm sure my kids are enjoying it if they're both on. I saw my son was on, but I think my daughter's probably asleep. How to fix eyesight. All right, a question I can answer. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I really appreciate you coming by. That's going to be it for the live today. I hope you'll check me out next week. I'll be on again, and I hope you take a look at my videos. Go to my profile. I really would implore everybody to check out my Twitter feed. I work pretty hard to find popular press articles that are based on peer-reviewed articles that kind of carry a good message of healthy fitness. And I really hope that you guys will check that out. I'm trying to get a little more traffic on there. Go back and look at my original YouTube channel where I put my TikTok lives after I do them. And stitch or duet your workout with one of mine. I really would love to see somebody do that. Thanks so much. You guys have a good evening.